Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Bradley Ellis, Michael Huber.
That sounded like picking up a turkey in Streets of Rage 2.
And Brandon Jones.
Turkey.
Yeah.
No, it's like, like
Yeah, there it is. Nice. Cross between a sound the turkey makes and that sound.
Yes.
It's time for And For That Reason. Our submission comes from Daniel Rona. Here we go, panel. Good evening, Easy Allies. I'm presenting a game where you order food at a restaurant and must attempt to swindle as much free stuff as you can from the managerial and wait staff. I didn't order this. Halfway through eating it, finding a hair in your soup, and getting your kids to sneak away from the table to steal sauce packets are all tools in your arsenal to try to be the cheapest skate you can be. It's called I Know the Manager. So, who's in? Brad.
This sounds like a Telltale game to me, how it would play out, and therefore I am out.
Brad, is a segment called And Therefore I Am?
Sure.
It's called And For That Reason.
Oh, and for that reason, I'm out.
Okay. Michael Huber.
I worked in the restaurant industry for about a decade. This idea gives me major anxiety, and for that reason, I'm out.
Brandon Jones.
I think this game is a clever premise, but I think is unfortunately shying away from the obvious category, which I think should be hotel, staying in a hotel and trying to get the free soap and the free towels. I think that's a better angle. So I think you should maybe go back to the drawing board with this one. For that reason, I'm out.
Oh, wow. 0 for 3.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel Rona. I should say those are submitted to us every week, as long as in the same post with love and respect. This week was the majority was And For That Reason posts.
They're tired of love and respect.
Yeah.
Man. They're over it.
So we got 30 And For That Reason, 17 love and respects. It was just, there's so many And For That
We can
Reasons.
get through these fast.
Yeah, one person just suggested we make it its own podcast, its own show. We just constantly go for And For That Reason the whole
my
time.
God, dude.
We have enough. We got enough material. Let's do corrections. Begin corrections music, please. NPDs are US only. I kept saying North America. It's US only. PSVR not included in the PlayStation hardware revenue. ICE claimed that, Capcom thought they were going to sell 10 million copies of Monster Hunter World. That was not who that quote came from. Came from Hirokazu Hamamura, who is the president of Enterbrain, which publishes Famitsu, which he was editor-in-chief of for a long time. We talked about games that reboot themselves and then return back to their numbers. And we mentioned Tomb Raider, and I said, where's 4 and 5? I didn't realize this. In certain parts of Europe, maybe all of Europe, I was not able to get the information on this. Last Revelation and Chronicles were both called 4 and 5.
Oh.
And what's weird is on the Steam store, if you go to buy those games on Steam, it says Tomb Raider 4 and Tomb Raider 5, but in the actual logo, there is no 4 or 5. And so there's just weird disagreement about whether they're canonically 4 or 5 or not. And I can't get a source on this.
Didn't you say Ratchet Deadlock
Yeah,
was
Ratchet
4?
Deadlocked in Japan is Ratchet & Clank 4.
Yeah.
So
Is that canon?
that game, yeah.
But I mean, could they make a 4? Could they make a Ratchet & Clank 4?
Well, then they did Future Tools of Destruction, which is a sequel to all of it. So
Yeah.
that would be 5, but they just dropped the numbers altogether.
And then we did get a reboot. We got a Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah.
Period.
Because Ratchet & Clank 2 and 3 didn't have numbers either in America.
Yeah.
So it's all region-based,
You're
maybe?
right. They never had
Yeah.
numbers.
So,
It was always something a little cheeky.
yeah.
Okay.
Up your arsenal.
It's cheeky.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
A really good example. We were racking our brains for examples of like rebooting, then go back to the original chronology. Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands was, I think, the most
Oh, they
interesting
bounce
example
around
of that.
all. Yeah. I
So
still don't even know where we're at with that series.
So they had that cool reboot, which I don't think was unsuccessful, but and I couldn't find a source to verify my suspicions. The Jake Gyllenhaal movie was happening.
Yeah.
So that same year they did Forgotten Sands because it kind of resembles the Jake Gyllenhaal movie more than their cool kind of cel-shaded look. And so I think that's why that happened. But I could not find a source, so that's not confirmed. But that's where that series left off.
It's been a
That's the
while.
last
Yeah,
Prince of
yeah,
Persia
no,
game.
that's
we played.
Forgotten Sands.
But Jones, the interesting thing is Forgotten Sands is an interquel. It's not even the last game in that timeline. It's just like, what happened in the 7 years between these two games? Oh, the PS3 version of Deadly Premonition is the definitive version of the Easy Allies community. It's been changed.
Excellent.
Yep. And corrections music, please. And before we move on, I do have to say one thing about corrections. We will, for the rest of time, confuse Battlefield and Battlefront. It's going to happen. It's going to happen with all of us.
No.
Yes, it's going to keep happening.
Who blew it?
You don't have to
Who
send
blew it?
corrections.
I want names.
I will not do that. I will not do that.
Check the tape.
It was Ian or Damiani.
It's just like, it's going to happen. They're the same word. That's the same word.
I might slip up.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm thinking about it.
What makes Star Wars more of a Battlefront? Like, why is that a Star Wars word?
Because Battlefield was taken.
Exactly. Gotta get on the battlefront. That's good, Jerry. Sell it.
That's good. Yeah, it works for
Print
me. Speaking of Battlefield, hey, that's our leading story.
Whoa.
Yeah. We know a lot about the next Battlefield, this year's Battlefield game. It is not Bad Company 3. It's Battlefield 5.
Ooh.
That Roman
big old
numeral.
5,
nice
baby.
little V. Yeah.
Roman numeral.
Yes.
Ooh.
Sorry.
They haven't done that in the
Yeah,
past.
they usually just do like.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. 4 was definitely, yeah, okay. So yeah, World War II is where we're going.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Going back to the roots.
Classic.
Yep.
Pacific?
Pacific? No. So maybe, yes. Here's what they're doing. Sorry, I said 3 times. Looking through my little facts. What are they called? Episodic mini stories, kind of like Battlefield 1 did.
Okay.
You're globetrotting. Cool. Well, no, sorry, you're not globetrotting. You, the player, are hopping into other people's
Different characters?
stories. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Many different characters.
So, okay.
Co-op mode with randomly generated conquest missions is another thing. You know, and I should credit who was able to break the story, which was VentureBeat, who GamesBeat of VentureBeat was the one who cracked the story open this week. We can move on to the other things that we got on this, but I kind of want to hit what was presented just now.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's World War II. I know we just said Call of Duty World War II, so it feels kind of like, second fiddle kind of coming in late, but Battlefield started in 1942. It started with World War II.
Just like Call of Duty.
Just like Call of Duty. That's its origins, and it's been a while since Battlefield has been in World War II.
Yeah, they went from 1 to 2 now.
Yeah, and I think the last time was 1943, the downloadable Battlefield game.
Yeah, I kept writing 2009 was the last time they did
Okay.
a World War II game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
I'm really
Let's
ready.
go back, man.
My favorite thing of all time in Battlefield, I'll never forget, was a B-2 bomber, only had a couple seats. So back in the day, we used to coordinate and have people lie on the wings of the B-2 bomber and just do these awesome bombing
That's
runs.
not gonna work this time.
parachute.
That's
I hope
not gonna
so.
work this time, my friend.
Well, now probably because just modern games, I wonder if like B-2 bomber, you can load up just like 20 or 30 people and everyone
Drop
just
people out of it.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be so cool. Oh, I'm so excited.
Load some soldiers in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the obvious first discussion to have is about Call of Duty, which just had a very successful World War II game last year. And if they'll be able to differentiate themselves enough from that.
I think they play super different. Like, they feel night and day when you play them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to people who don't really play these games, they could feel kind of similar, maybe. I don't think Call of Duty is doing World War II this year, though.
It's not. No,
Yeah,
they're
so
doing Black Ops 4.
I think
for
they'll be
sure.
fine, though. Like, they'll be the only World War II game out. If they were both out in World War II at the same time, then maybe I'd be like, okay, this could be a problem.
Yeah, I feel like though when we heard that Call of Duty was going to World War II, Jones, I don't know if you remember this, we were like, well, Battlefield just did World War I. You know, it kind of felt like they were like a copycat, like there'd be less interest in than them going back to the roots. And so I wonder if any of that carries over, or if we're all just super excited to go. Where do you stand? Where do you think that the audience is? Where do you think everybody is, in this world?
Just expectations, just kind of what people are looking forward to, or
Fervor for World War II.
I think the fervor for me is just technology. I think it's one thing to look at both of these franchises and think, how long can we deal with any one type of, whether that's modern warfare, even though their modern warfare was like a little bit in the future, super crazy futuristic mech tech, or which Battlefield is. I had Battlefield 2142.
2142.
Yeah.
That was an interesting Battlefield.
Yeah.
And then, of course, going back into history and going back to their roots, and just the roots of war. It's like a very interesting thing, I think, to do to a multiplayer base, to kind of be like, okay, now your weapons don't reload as fast. Okay, now they did their accuracy isn't the greatest. But I think it's just fascinating with how good, I mean, the last Battlefield Battlefield 1 was the official title, right? Yeah. Oh boy, that game looked incredible.
Battlefield games always do.
Yeah.
That's like what Frostbite's made for, you know?
So I think
showpiece.
If I found out that if this was last year and I found out that Battlefield and Call of Duty were both doing World War II at the same time.
Oh, then we have some headlines.
I would, yeah, well, obviously. But I think I would still be okay with that and wouldn't think that the situations are that similar, because what I would expect Call of Duty would do with World War II is what they did, where we got a very story-driven, a very Band of Brothers-esque, where you're really focusing on these characters that you remember the last names of all the other people in your squad, that you lose them at various pivotal points. Granted, I've not finished the campaign for World War II, whereas what I'm hoping that this has is a little more of a broader view of the war. That like the campaigns, the theaters are a little more varied, a little bit of desert, a little bit of jungle, a little bit of forest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
We'll
not,
get that
and
trailer
not
now.
just
Yeah.
like
Call of Duty
you're following these characters from point A to point B, the hellish journey that they have to make to get there.
Yeah.
Whereas this is kind of look at the big picture of the war, and just vehicles. I think how any vehicles in COD in World War II multiplayer?
No, dude.
So, yeah, give me those
were
tanks.
on like a Jeep.
Yeah, for
I
some
think.
modes, you could like be on a tank or like something like shoot.
What?
The tank, I
In
think.
Call of Duty?
Well, it wasn't like you're driving around.
Yeah, the whole like passenger.
Yeah, you were like on the gun. There's a
Yeah.
mode where like a tank would go through and you have to escort it. You could like get on
In
the gun.
multiplayer?
Yes. It was a
What?
certain mode.
Yeah,
where
it's
you,
war mode.
Yeah.
War
That's
mode.
weird. I'm sorry. I was totally
Yeah.
unaware of that.
They were on like a track.
Yeah, they were on a track. So
Yeah, yeah.
one team would escort and the other team would try
like
to
a-
stop them.
like
So it's like a
Payload.
turret. You
Yeah.
can just like walk into a
It's
turret
like
and
Payload,
multiplayer
yes.
against- Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But like
cool.
midway DLC, like I might have to play that.
Oh, Jones is
you know,
in.
because air combat, COD doesn't touch that
No,
at all.
yeah.
You know, and so obviously that's a big thing, no matter what genre Battlefield's doing.
I want to touch on a really interesting part of
Yes.
U.S. gamers reporting.
The conquest thing.
No.
What you just said about the
Oh,
randomized.
the co-op. You're right. We didn't even talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
before we move on. Yeah, before we
Yeah.
move on, let's talk about randomized co-op conquest.
Is that for the campaign?
No.
So it's a separate
This whole
multiplayer
separate
mode.
multiplaire mode co-op. You're just doing randomized conquest. Tell us what conquest.
So
is, by the
conquest
way.
is just the bread and butter
main mode,
mode
yeah.
of Battlefield, where you capture points, and you have each team has like a ticket supply, and that number goes down at varying speeds depending on how many points you have captured.
Oh, so it's not like the one where you're pushing forward.
Yeah, that's,
No, that's
rush mode.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued by this.
That,
This sounds,
you and I would just do that together. That's a two-person kind of thing.
that confuses me because
that
it's
is
usually
weird.
like
That's like the main mode.
64
where-
people.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
tons of people are playing.
Yeah, it's tough. It's it's tough with the details. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're very particular language,
Totally.
and they like don't want to get anybody in trouble. And they're like,
Yeah.
But I like copied and pasted what they wrote in their
Yeah.
article at GamesBeat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very-
co-op
very
mode
intriguing.
with randomly generated conquest missions. Missions though.
Yeah.
Missions, yeah.
So I wonder if it's like a full-on war mode where there's like NPC armies, and it's a co-op thing where you have to go in and do varying, like destroy the AA gun or like rescue the POWs or something, and this whole battle is going down, like the city's just coming apart. Like that sounds pretty cool.
You know what had a really cool randomized co-op campaign? Resistance 2.
Yes.
You got me like thinking of that right now, dude.
So good.
Yeah. Okay. I think a randomized co-op campaign could be cool.
Resistance 2, wow.
Yeah, it actually had a really cool co-op thing. I remember more of that than I do the actual game.
Coming out, dude, seeing that Golden Gate Bridge. Never forget that. Resistance
The
2.
beginning of the game. The
I
campaign.
remember that.
It was the
Oh,
main
that
campaign.
shot.
It was like the first level, dude.
I remember,
You're like-
I remember like lots of Beatles.
Yeah.
Like in a tunnel, there were a lot of Beatles.
Dude, you're in the opening, man. You're in that like the bunker
Yeah.
for the first like 45 minutes, huge boss fight. Aliens are coming in. You step outside, and it's like
Yeah, there were some
San
big
Francisco,
things.
like
Yeah.
alien invasion. Oh
Yeah.
my god, never forget it.
It's kind of a cool franchise in hindsight. When we had it, it's just like Brown, stop. But like now it's like, man, that was kind of
Man,
cool.
yeah, 3 was so good, too.
Yeah, bummer.
the end.
So this was an interesting story because it's the kind of one where multiple publications like pick it up. You know, like, oh yeah, we heard things too. We heard things too. We heard things too. US Gamer had a really interesting tidbit, which I think is pretty cool. Apparently, DICE settled on the strategy of returning the Battlefield series years ago, but refrained from starting with World War II so as to not waste the setting right away. This led the developers to focus on World War I with World War II as backup if Battlefield 1 failed to excite players. I thought that was so interesting.
That is super interesting.
Yeah.
That mean like this is what they've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
they've been-
That is
wow.
incredible.
Yeah.
They've got all the tech down, the practice under their belt,
Yeah.
going back to the
primed.
roots. They're so proud. Oh my god, it's gonna
Yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah,
It's gonna be amazing.
awesome.
And so I kind of think the next game after this one even will take place in the past.
I'm not gonna lie. I love that they're going to their roots. World War II excites me in the Battlefield franchise, of course. Especially like you said with technology, it's gonna look and hopefully play better than it ever has.
He said that.
It's fine. No, it's
Yeah,
he just gives you credit for everything.
exactly.
At the end of the
MLG.
day,
was a nice thing.
wasn't that Brad? I think that was Brad. Wasn't that
It was actually a really nice thought that Jones had too. He's like, technology is
What
what
if
I'm
I
excited
just
about. Yeah,
like,
that
was
was
like stole all of it?
I'm a very insightful person. Okay.
but there's a little pang in my heart, the yearning for that 2142.
The future.
Because that was a one-time thing. And
That's
it
at
was
least 3 games
so-
away, man. I really think that's
Yeah.
3 games
Yeah.
away now. Because Battlefield 1 was a big success. If it failed, you'd have to get your future
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
As soon as the future trend comes back,
Yeah.
then they'll ramp
But
up.
it's exciting to hear that it's not like, oh, we're just bored of this, or we really want to take Battlefield in this direction, and the fans are just not feeling it. So, fingers crossed, let's go back in time. I love that they want to do it. I love that clearly we will never see. One of the things I can't remember one of the last documentaries. It might have been Ken Burns' World War II documentary or another one, but they described D-Day as they were like, the thing about D-Day is no one, we've never seen anything like that ever in the history of the world. Like, there's never been that many ships, that many big metal ships all sailing to one location, that many troops all landing on the same beach. It was just like when surviving soldiers talk about seeing that, reporters, when people like talk about filming that and being on that beach, they're like, I can't describe that for you. And when you see the film footage, it doesn't do it justice. And so it's like cool that we can not only see something animated that will hopefully recreate that, but play it. And as we move into the future, it's like every 10 years, if we go back to World War II, I'm down. If tech's just getting it better and better and better and better, and it sucks to leave World War II. It'd be a bummer if the next battlefield's like, all right, moving on. It's like, it's a big war. There's a lot of big battles, a lot of happening all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's a
What
lot
was
to
it,
cover.
1943? Is that the one that was online only?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, there's many years of that war you can like hit upon. Yeah. That's a good point, Jones. I want to hit on...
You know what I'm excited for, Kyle, before
Yeah.
you move on?
Yeah.
Is glass shattering. Look out for that in this game.
in a little like French town.
Yeah, I think the glass shattering technology, that is my theory right now, that it's going to be next level, like shattered, like shooting a bullet through a window, like being in a building and like taking fire and just like the glass
Or, like,
shattering,
Bullet holes going through the
grenade
yeah.
outside, like
No.
mortar.
No, here's the thing. I'm with your enthusiasm. I'm with your desire for glass shattering. I just think that when you're in your concept phase, when you're thinking, okay, World War II, what do we need to work on? What do we need to develop?
Yeah.
I don't think the person says glass. It'd be like, why? It's World War II, Huber. Why are you bringing up glass?
One,
'Cause there's,
smoke was clearly they were going nuts with smoke. I
Yeah.
think with Battlefield 1, that was definitely one thing that I might be confusing that World War II.
destructible environments is where they're
course,
going.
but
That's
with
what they're
glass
hitting.
is
That's part of it,
Of
dude.
course.
Glass
And
is part
like
of it.
more to the
glass.
destructive, not necessarily just the,
gives a shit about
the side of the
glass?
house blowing up immediately, like
Yeah.
it deteriorating more
Yeah.
over time.
Exactly, Brad. The stages
Yeah, the
of a building
destruction,
coming
man.
down.
They like that tech, dude.
We're ready. E3.
I just feel like
Glass shattering tech, baby.
Glass.
I
Hype it
I
up.
feel like if you're working on Crackdown, you work on glass. I feel like if you're working on World War II, you don't have to worry about the glass too much. Actually, John's
There's a glass guy at DICE who's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
for
glass
sure,
man.
Waiting for that email.
glass man.
Call him Mr. Glass.
Jones, actually, I want to push back on one thing about the D-Day thing. Maybe it'll be good in Battlefield, but that is what turned me off immediately from Call of Duty last year. Is how much that was not like D-Day. How much that
Right.
could, like the waypoints and the clear paths and the like. You will survive if you just
Right.
weave this way. You know,
But
what I
that's
mean?
COD. That's Call of Duty. Call
Yes.
of Duty's hallways.
Yeah.
And verticality depending on what era that they're doing. But yeah, there's a lot of running, a lot of get to that point.
Can I tell you
Whereas
my desire?
Battlefield's more open. It's just and I think COD's okay with that. I think COD's like, no, you do you. You do those vehicles, you do those big wide open environments.
I'll tell you my desire. Here's what I want instead of glass. I want if it's D-Day, if you die, you just like your consciousness ports over to the guy behind you, and so like it's not respawning. It's like those people die.
Well,
Battlefield
1 had
1.
that.
Battlefield 1 has that.
Really?
You never saw it from Battlefield 1?
No.
Oh.
Is it that same thing? Like
dude,
you
it's
just
hard.
port to the guy behind
It's
you?
heartbreaking, man.
don't-
It says
you don't
the name and like
yeah.
their date of birth and death.
Of a real soldier that
Yeah,
died
it's
in
like
World War I.
brutal.
Of a real soldier, even. So
They
wait,
got you.
wait. You don't port to them? How does it work?
It, like then the eyes close and then you like wake up and then
Just
got it,
respawn
okay.
like you would, but they put a little bit of context in there by
Okay.
having a bunch of names ready to go.
So like guaranteed
Each
D-Day is
time.
going to be better. Guaranteed like that's going to be a more effective way of communicating that.
Or they see what COD did and focus on something else. I don't know. Focus on
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, maybe.
You're
I don't,
right,
you
Yeah, they
know.
might not even do DDA. Or
Yeah.
the beach of Normandy.
Yeah. Cool.
Could parachute in or something.
One last very important thing, and this is a direct quote from US Gamer's source. Normally, when you have a source, you don't directly quote them, but it was in quotation marks in their own article. Loot boxes are back, but cosmetic only. Way more customization options for your soldier than previous games, and I think that was stressed by Kotaku as well. They don't want what happened with Battlefront to happen to Battlefield, and they
did it.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, they don't want that, and I think that everybody sees that reaction, and so they're going hard on cosmetics. They're going to give you more customization options than you've ever had because they have to add some value to just the way you look in this game.
Yeah.
Does that work in World War II?
I've never bought into the character customization in Call of Duty or Battlefield because you wear uniforms, there's
Yeah.
only so much you can do. The newest Call of Duty had a couple standout costumes, some like really cool. I remember the shotgun class. There was one where it had like a gas mask character and like a big coat. There's a couple cool ones, but it's never enough for me to get excited about.
Yeah. I'm more interested in like unlocking weapons
Yeah.
or whatnot. But if this is just cosmetics, then yeah.
What if you could have you could unlock your grandfather? Like you were talking about the real people in the war.
my gosh.
Like in World War II, like there's people who are still alive who were in that war. That'd be the
They
ultimate
co-op
unlock.
with like Ancestry.com or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. You open a loot
That'd
box,
be
it's like
a lot
your
of
grandfather's here.
Grandpa?
Yes! Yes! That's like that to me is just the coolest thing in the world. Yes! Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, that's a joke. I'm sorry for making that joke, but that's a joke based on like, how do you make something that makes somebody go yes for
Yeah,
World War II when you're talking
exactly.
about those kind of cosmetics?
Will they just get like wacky or something like that?
I don't know, Brad. They might get wacky.
They might get wacky.
They always do like gold guns.
Like,
I'm
I mean,
so
that's-
sick
I'm
of
sorry.
that.
Even Battlefield does gold guns.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone does gold guns.
Everyone does
Okay, so
gold
gold guns
guns.
are a lock
Gold
because
guns will be
Battlefield
there.
1 had gold guns.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they're going to go beyond the gold guns because they had to add more cosmetics. Okay.
You could get like write stuff on yourself. There's just a lot of that. I mean,
Like your
Vietnam
helmets
is
and
probably more
stuff?
of that, but just like
Yeah.
writing on your helmet or Born to Kill.
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket style.
cigarette pack or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Maybe like what your blood looks like.
Yeah, you could choose green.
Yeah. I mean, I'm brainstorming here.
Yeah. No bad ideas.
No bad ideas.
No bad
there.
ideas.
You can get different boots.
Get different sunglasses.
Yeah.
There will be sunglasses.
Aviators,
Lock
dude.
that in. There
Yeah.
will absolutely be sunglasses.
Lock it in.
Can I get a buzz cut?
This is the kind of story I don't usually cover on the podcast. When somebody announces DLC, when somebody announces a season pass, kind of washes over me. I'm not interested in talking about it. What's there to talk about? Far Cry 5 announced some interesting things over the last week. Far Cry 5 announced some DLC that changes my perception of the game entirely. And it's kind of exciting. So let's go down through every piece of this. Let's talk about this. First of all, let's talk about the season pass.
How much?
So I couldn't find how much it is on its own. I do know if you want the version of the game that includes the season pass,
Deluxe.
$100?
$100?
$90.
90.
So it's
so not
probably 40 though.
30 or
if you buy
40.
it
I think it's
separate.
probably 30. I
30?
bet it's just
Okay.
a raw 30. Yeah,
Raw 30.
Raw
30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40 is around what we're looking at. Included in the season pass. Here's what's coming up: Hours of Darkness. Now this is I don't know if it's a level or if it's multi-levels, but it's a DLC pack in which players will travel back in time to Vietnam to battle against Viet Cong soldiers.
Do you think this will be as long as Blood Dragon?
No, I don't think any of these
I think this
individual
will be
things
like what, like 2 hours maybe, or
Sure.
Yeah. The way Huber talked about his impression of each, it could be 1 hour.
Yeah.
1 hour each.
Yeah.
My interpretation was that it's like hop in, kill a bunch of dudes, get out.
Yeah. Do it again for a high score.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know.
We're going to get to it, but what excites me more is just those settings being used in Far Cry Arcade.
Yes,
Which we will get to.
Yes, baby.
Don't jump the gun.
Dead Living Zombies, which they realize how dumb that is. That's intentionally dumb sounding.
Yes.
Players will face hordes of zombies in multiple B-movie scenarios.
I think the trailer said 7.
Yes, it did actually. Great.
Ah.
Yeah.
Nice, Huber.
Yeah.
Good trailer retention.
Trailer. Well,
Gotta be alert with you guys.
Yeah.
let's do the third one, but because I kind of want to talk about that trailer. I've got to be alert with you guys. Lost on Mars, players will leave Earth behind to go toe to claws with Martian arachnids. Very sci-fi look. You have cool futuristic looking weapons.
Looked very Farpoint.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking too.
We had a trailer for this season pass. We watched a trailer for it, which is
Yeah.
kind of unusual, I think.
It's crazy.
I think they're proud of it. I think they're
Yes.
coming. I think the negative reception of the American cult put them in a position to show off how different and wacky this game can be, because
That's interesting.
everything we've seen up until last week when they showed the Cheeseburger Bear and now this crazy wacky trailer, everything we'd seen of Far Cry 5 is super serious.
I don't know. Some of like the partner trailers are like, "Woohoo! Look at this hillbilly! I'm on your team."
True.
There's been some,
Yeah.
there's been like a bunch of that stuff.
But a lot of serious, like, yes.
Especially like their E3 presentations. Most yeah.
And now they're really doubling down on, Far Cry, get crazy, get wacky.
Yeah.
You got a bear named Cheeseburger.
That's a good name for a bear.
That is a good bear name.
Jones, what'd you think of that trailer? It opens with, I think it's worth mentioning, from the brand that brought you
Yeah.
Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Wait, it says the brand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we said that the name of the zombies one, if I completely forget,
Living Dead Zombies.
Living Dead Zombies, obviously tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
The voiceover very tongue in cheek.
Sorry, I did
Here's
that
a bunch of
backwards.
random stuff
Of
coming
course,
at you.
Dead Living
Like,
Zombies. Dead
has,
Living Zombies.
has that it completely has that vibe. I was surprised we saw gameplay of all 3 of these weird
Yes,
story
that's what it is
based
usual. Yeah, absolutely.
expansions.
Like, these things are done. They're ready to go.
I don't think they're ready to go. dude.
Very easily, they could have just shown a poster or something and been
think
like,
these things-
"Here's just the Mars one, but we're also doing a zombie one and something else." It's
Yeah.
cool to like see, the majority, I think, of most of these little chapters that we're going to be playing. I don't think they're selling them to be more than they are. I think he basically just said, "You get in there, rescue Vietnam, rescue your dudes, get
Yeah.
out. Mars, kill crabs,
Kill
get out.
aliens, yeah.
Like zombies, kill zombies, get out." So get out. It seems, it just seems really straightforward and really honest. And the only thing that's so weird is, and I guess I know Huber said it's a good thing because I think a lot of people might have potentially been down on Far Cry 5 because it was taking itself too seriously. But it does feel weird to have this expansion. By the way, here's all this other stuff coming to Far Cry 5 that has nothing to do with this premise that we've been selling, that we has been so instrumental to this new type of Far Cry.
Yeah, the end of the trailer is kind of striking because it goes back to like the flag with the crosses as
I was
stars.
like, oh, yeah, I forgot about
It's
that.
Like, oh yeah, that's what that game is.
It's a weird mixed bag, but there's a lot in that bag.
One thing that is actually included in that season pass is Far Cry 3 Classic Edition.
That is
Why is it called Classic Edition?
Brad, I have no idea.
Why not just call
Probably
Far Cry? Is it just Far
includes
Cry
extra
3?
stuff.
It's Far Cry 3 remastered. It does include all of the single player content that Far Cry 3 had.
Not Blood Dragon,
Wouldn't
but
Classic mean
other
it's
stuff
not
added to the
remastered
campaign.
then?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, like it's not.
Maybe
like
that's
it's a port.
maybe setting low expectations for the remasteredness of it.
Yeah.
That's what. Why don't you just call it Far Cry 3 Remastered then?
Because I actually watched a trailer for it, and they had the nerve to put in the. Do you know the definition of insanity?
Oh,
They put that in the
man.
trailer for this. And what's funny is that moment of that trailer looks worse than what they showed at E3 years ago. You know,
Visual downgrade.
well, I mean, yeah, because this was actually it running on hardware, and the E3 is like, who knows what that was running
Yeah.
on. But yeah, it's funny to actually show a worse version of that.
That
scene.
is funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is something that'll be included. Free in the season pass is coming. I think what I write down. Oh, in the summer, you can get it 2 weeks early than everyone else. If you don't get the season pass, you can still get Far Cry 3 Classic
Separate
Edition.
Thank
Yeah.
you, because Modern Warfare Remastered you couldn't get for a very, 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 very long
Can
time.
I get it today?
I think you can. Correct me. I don't know. I think you can.
I think you can too.
But it took a long time.
Yeah.
Too
That's
long.
good.
And they were secretive about it the whole time.
Yeah.
They're
So-
like, well, we're not talking about it yet. Yeah.
The 3 DLCs you get 2 weeks early if you have the pass, but Classic you can get whenever.
Sorry, no. The classic edition of Far Cry 3 is coming out this summer. You get
Okay.
it 2 weeks early as included in your season pass if you got the season pass.
Just classic.
Just that classic thing, yep.
Why? It's like you can just buy
Just
Far
another
Cry 3.
bonus, baby.
Okay. Like, why put that on like a time gate? That's so weird. That game's old.
It's coming out this summer. They got work to do on it still.
I just don't get it.
They gotta like fix Vaz. They gotta like really make them look good. That scene's gotta look good, baby.
Glass half full, maybe PS4, no backwards compatibility. It's good for PS4 owners that they can play Far Cry
Yeah,
3
but
on
like,
their PS4.
why put that behind the gate?
Because Vaz, man. Definition of insanity is hyped.
Yeah, I feel like it's a game
Oh,
that
I'm
hyped
sorry.
up for no reason.
But Brad, you also get the game. It's not just early access. You like get that included in your season
No,
pass.
yeah, I knew that, but I was just
Okay.
confused. Like, why that game out of everything?
Yeah. It's season pass. Throw it in a bonus.
They love Far
Throw
Cry.
them a
No,
bone.
I'm not a bonus about like the game being in there. I'm just
Yeah.
confused why that one's 2 weeks early.
So like you would prefer for them to have classic edition on the same day for everybody.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, because you feel special. You feel special for having that season pass.
I would feel more special if I got the newer stuff
Yeah.
instead of an older game.
Got it. I understand what you're saying now,
Yes.
Brad. I get
Yes.
you. Okay.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
get you.
Yes.
Very excited for the arcade mode.
Yeah, let's talk about that next.
Yeah.
What is the arcade mode?
Arcade mode, if you haven't watched this, viewers, this looks crazy. They said like 9,000 items that you can use. It's a level editor.
It's a level editor.
A scenario editor. Co-op missions, single player missions. The variety they showed was absolutely incredible. They showed like a submerged city with a guy on like a jet ski or something. You know, and they said over time they will be releasing more things for that editor.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 3 DLC packs, the Vietnam and the moon and the zombies, of course,
You
that'll
get elements
be,
from that.
you know, and that really excites me. And the way that they just talking about curating the list and showing you the good stuff and being able to follow people. And what I love too is the compatibility with the single player mode. Money and stuff that you earn in those modes, you can take back into single player to make it all feel connected. And I love
They gotta
that
put some
stuff.
limits on that because back in the little Big Planet days, there were plenty of levels where it's just like you
Make-
get a
make
bunch
it
of
like-
points, you
yeah.
get a trophy if you play my level.
Trophy level.
And yeah. I hope they don't go nuts with that stuff.
They were including assets from other Ubisoft games, right?
Yeah, you
like
want some?
Assassin's Creed. That's
Assassin's
pretty cool.
Creed 4, Black Flag,
That's really cool.
Assassin's Creed Unity, and Watch Dogs.
They got these
Dogs.
assets. Why not use them?
There's so many reasons in the past I would say wait, don't, but they're like, let's go nuts.
I mean, this game's already out of control.
yes.
Like, just
is
get
so out
the
of
most
control.
nuts you can get.
Yeah. I think that's really cool
Yeah.
that
Oh my
Ubisoft is
gosh.
willing to like have everybody
Yeah.
like
Now, Far
cooperate
Cry
with each
4
other.
and 3 did not have level editors.
No.
I'm
No.
assuming. But Far Cry has had level editors before.
Really?
Yeah, I remember the
Two?
I don't know if it was
One?
just I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 Survive. I think it might have Far Cry Survive or something like
Was
that.
that the Wii one?
It was the one where he's all feral on the cover, like and his eyes are all red. And it
kinda
was
remember
I
that
think it was the
now,
Xbox port of the initial
Yeah.
PC release of Far Cry 2.
Got you. And that had a
And
map
on
editor.
back in the old Xbox, I don't even know it was 360. I think it was like the OG Xbox.
Sure. Oh, wow.
Totally had terrain deformation. I made like a big hill with a river around it. And a little
Yeah.
Far Cry
wooden
1
fort
is
and stuff,
so
and-
weird.
At that point, I did not understand what Far Cry was about. I looked at that box. I'm like, what is this?
My brother had the most Kyle Bossman moment ever with Far Cry 1. Played like half of that game. Monsters show up. Hard quit. Never played again. I'm out.
nice. Monsters. And for that reason,
But I think, but I think for everybody, it's kind of the same thing that the Dreams is doing. For Media Molecule, I love the idea that if you add a building element to the game, you have to understand that like the majority of the people experience this do not want to build anything, and so to have something where it's like you're gonna have an avenue where if you want the stuff we made, jumping in day one, go nuts. There's tons of different levels. We're gonna be updating that. Obviously, you can connect with your friends, see what they're building. There'll probably be like a top favorites map. You can go check out that stuff. It seems
just-
like a GTA Online play.
yeah.
And super smart
Oh,
for Far
Jones.
Cry.
Yeah,
and it's
I
just,
do see that
and they set a
relation there.
precedent for it before. So I think out of everything in that pack, this I think is the most
But
intriguing.
that's
And-
free, right?
Yes.
Yes,
That's free.
arcade's
That's free.
free.
And I remember at playing Far Cry 5 at a preview event, and I went into one of the houses and went by Far Cry Arcade and was like, "What?" And like looked at one of the devs. I was like, "What's?" And they were like, "No, we're not."
Awesome.
Into that. I was like, "Ah!" And it was at the beginning. You're like going towards the arcade cabinet. It was just that cabinet. It was like
gotcha.
in someone's house, and I was like, "Oh, that's got to be a thing." because they've had Far Cry loves the weird little. They had was it Far Cry that had like the top-down Smash TV mode in one of their crazy games? What was that?
That was a Call of Duty game, dude.
That was COD. That's right.
Yes, I don't remember which one, but there was totally this weird mini game inside of it. That's probably Black Ops 3 again.
Yeah, I think it was.
Jones, sorry, there was one detail I have to make clear though. This doesn't come out till April. It comes out after the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They don't have a specific date for this, but they're like April.
That's
like
not too
another
long.
game.
And
after
that kind of eases the farming nature of money, like you were concerned about with Little Big
sure.
Planet. People
Yeah,
will probably beat the game by then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly, I think it's incredible. I think it's such a cool thing to add on to this kind of game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking at this point, Far Cry 5 might be another success. It might be another big old
Little sneaky Ghost Recon
Ghost
action.
Recon. Yeah, I think we should accept that at this point.
Absolutely. And just hearing Ubisoft continue to reiterate that they're all about games as a service, coming back to your game, keeping your game alive for a long time. Like Assassin's Creed Origins came out so long ago, and that game keeps getting new quests, keeps getting new items. Another expansion's coming out soon. Like they keep it alive.
Yeah.
And I think Far Cry is going to be kicking for a while now.
And when they said that, Huber, when you say Assassin's Creed Origins keeps getting stuff, besides the cool, tour mode, it doesn't, I'm like, whatever, new weapons and stuff. But, this, I think, is a good idea. And obviously there's been map editors, there's been this kind of thing, but I feel a potential for this that goes beyond what even Far Cry 5 normally even sees in its scope. It's just so cool to have these other Ubisoft properties in there. You're just making your own game. Some of them can be just multiplayer maps. You can tell your own story in there. I wonder if I can make a cave, Huber. I just want to get in there when it's
Make a cave?
Heck yeah.
Yes, you want to get in with the tools and play around.
I would imagine, just because I was deforming terrain on the Xbox, not the Xbox 360, the OG Xbox in Far Cry. So I would be very surprised if you can't just make that hill bigger and put some water there.
Did they say Far Cry Primal in the...
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Because they got lots of caves in Primal.
one last thing I want to talk about is Far Cry Primal, because we talked about how they showed video of each of these three expansions. I'm not sure if this is, I can confirm either, but wasn't the story with Far Cry Primal was that it was going to be an expansion, and they're like, oh, we can make this its own game.
I don't know if they ever confirmed that. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we ever got a confirmation.
And so I think it's really interesting to just play the cards right here. Just say, here's our 3 expansions, here's what we're planning, and there's our 3 extremely different. But I kind of agree with Hubert. I think it's intentional to change the vibe of what Far Cry 5 is. I think they're manipulating their own vibe.
People were down on it,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's cool.
I'm just nervous for it being directly connected to 5. Because what if 5 does not review well? What if people are not only not into the story of 5, but offended? What if people are like, never do this again, hate this villain, don't like this world, not as interesting at all as 3 or 4, and then a couple months later it's like, hey, it's fun mode, and it just doesn't get
Too late.
doesn't strike the fire that it should. I wonder if the smarter play would be to announce it now and be like, this is coming too, but this is sold separately. You can buy a collector's edition package of Far Cry 5 that will include all this stuff, or you can just get this on its own. To get Arcade just by itself.
Yeah, I mean, I only played Blood Dragon. I just I'll just buy that separately. Thank you. And so, yeah, I get that point, Jones. It's hard for me to imagine this game reviewing poorly, though. Is that me? Am I alone on that?
I think it's going to do pretty solid. I expect 80 or higher on meta.
To me, it's about the villains. Going into 3, people were like, Voss looks crazy. Going into 4, totally forgot his name.
Pagan Min.
Pagan Min, just wow, this guy is a character. And has a really interesting time. If you get through that story, he's got an interesting story to tell. And boy, going into 5, I'm curious about this world, and it'll be fun to take these people down. It's fun to go back into the towns and have people being like, yes, I got my bar back, I got my restaurant back. I grew up in this town, and they kicked us out. So it's fun setting things right. But that villain, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not really gunning for that guy.
If they make me care about him, that is a win.
Yes.
If I see things from his perspective.
Or care around him. It'd be interesting
Yeah.
to get to the end of that story and kind of have the House of Cards come down and have the people next to him be like, I got to get out of here. You got to help me get out. And so you're like, oh, you can maybe help them. They turn against him, and so he just loses it at the end and goes all kamikaze. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool if he dies a third through the story. It's nah, the story wasn't about
yeah.
him. It's a really good setup for a misdirect, because the last 2 games are about their villains, and the villains get to be on the box.
Or he turns himself in intentionally.
Yeah.
You kind of he's already played his hand, and he's already put the wheels into motion.
Dark
that are
Knight.
gonna make everything happen.
Yes.
Or 7, kind of, where Kevin Spacey's just all right, I'm done.
Sorry, who?
Caps, yeah.
Oh, dude, monsters are gonna show up at the end or halfway through and kill them.
Sure.
And there it is.
Yes.
Far Cry.
formula, baby.
Back to its roots.
Yep. You find the rocket ship and go straight to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more. You know what? I think I hear something though.
You know
Do
what?
I hear that?
I was gonna ignore it, but
You know what? I really gotta acknowledge this. Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of March. Professor Metal Gear. Simon Anderson. Kyle,
Yeah.
you're so professional. Always making sure the viewers understand what everyone is talking about, seeing too that the podcast and streams move along at a good pace, but never losing focus on that it's supposed to be fun. I always love your humor and the way you create videos or jokes. You're doing a good job. Here's to another 2 years. Hologram Monster, currently developing Project Longtail. Check them out at hologram-monster.com.
Project Longtail.
Schemata. Schemata, a fast-paced mobile puzzle game based on digital logic diagrams developed by Friendly Fish Games. Race through logic circuits while organically learning how they work. The game is free with ads and has a $2 option to disable them. No other microtransactions are in this game. Out now on the Google Play Store and coming soon to iOS. Find out more at schematagame.com.
Spell that.
There's a dash in there too. SCHEMATA-game.com. Schemata. Like scheme. Mata.
I thought schemata. Like
Schemata.
schematics.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Elphanis. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless has specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EZA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure currently in development at Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Mango. Hogue Law business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at hoeglaw.com. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. It's free to compliment me. You don't have to spend $500 to compliment me. You don't have to do it.
Schemata.
I was like, whoa,
Sounds
we got
difficult.
a $500 compliment.
Yeah.
Dang.
Feels good.
That's crazy. Just look it up.
There's
Maybe more
one-
coming.
Sorry?
There may be more coming. You never know.
I hope it changes. I hope it's a new person.
Just Kyle's for all of March.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the worst?
It just gets longer and longer. I want to talk about one little rumor that popped up this week about the guest character for Soulcalibur VI. So here's what happened. Let's Play Video Games. We haven't talked about Let's Play Video Games in a while. Laura Dale used to work there. We didn't get any cool scoops, but now we got some scoops again. By the way, what I did was I went in Gmail and I typed in Let's Play Video Games to look at the rundowns, and I looked at the ratio for which Play Video Games gave us good stories and which were bad. Pretty good, about 50-50.
Okay.
Good
Some of
odds.
them like not true, some of them totally true, you got it. Dark Souls 3, I think they were the first to say that's coming to Switch. Anyway,
3?
yeah.
3's not coming to Switch.
Oh, you're right, it's Dark Souls Remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty bad actually.
Gotcha.
Because it was like mostly inaccurate on Rabbids. You're right. It's Dark Souls Remastered, not Dark Souls 3. And like the price points for the Switch launch were like totally wrong. There was only one. Okay, so hey, pretty bad.
Hey, if you get 3 out of 10 in baseball, you're one of the best in the world.
Where did you get 0 for 3 in rumors?
Then it's
Well, actually, the Rabbids one was half true, so we're like 0.5 out of 3. Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And I don't know, maybe some credit for Dark Souls, so maybe like 0.7 out of 3.
Wow.
Okay, so anyway, Let's Play Video Games. Established source.
Anyway, next story.
Yes. Heard a rumor from a source. They couldn't verify it. Somebody said, hey, you know who's going to be guest character? Geralt from Witcher 3.
The White Wolf
Yeah.
of Rivia?
Yeah. But they said, you know what? We can't publish that. We can't verify that source. We can't publish it. We simply can't. Then here's what happened. Marcin Momo, who is the community lead at CD Projekt Red, writes a tweet. Hey, what if Geralt was going to step out of the Witcher game for the very first time to make an appearance in one of the upcoming games this year?
Oh my god.
What if that was going to happen?
I'd play it.
Marcin, you did not even realize that rumor is out there. And so Let's Play Video Games says, oh, I see that tweet. We're publishing our story. We finally got enough sources. It's real. He's going to be in that game. He's going to be in Soulcalibur VI.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm down.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, Geralt.
Great pick.
So I want to do something real quick. I want to go through the guest characters of Soulcalibur through time
Okay.
to give you some context for what this means, everybody.
Some of the best
Excellent.
in the biz.
Yeah, and it's actually
Yes.
kind of fun. Like I had
Yes.
fun learning about this stuff.
some of
Yeah,
the best
some
of all
the best.
time.
Let's talk about the best. We'll start with Soulcalibur 2. First time there were ever guest characters in
Yes.
Soulcalibur.
This was huge.
What do we remember?
Link.
Link.
Link in the GameCube version.
Spawn.
On the Xbox.
Yes.
Hihachi.
Heihachi on PS2.
Heihachi.
Heihachi, then
Yes.
Spawn on Xbox.
Yeah. That was so cool.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was cool.
10 out of 10.
It's funny because I'm like, oh, Geralt, I don't really know if he fits that world. But like Spawn, what are we talking about? Like Spawn fits Soulcalibur at all? What's Spawn's weapon? Like,
So-
An axe, I think it
Jones,
was.
I was going through wikis.
Chains.
I learned that Spawn is the only American to ever be a Soulcalibur character. And then as I went through this, I realized more. Oh, Soulcalibur takes place hundreds and hundreds of years ago, before the United States of America even exists. But Spawn is time travel, it's fine. So yeah, it was an interesting fact at first, but then I was like, nah, nobody can be American at the time. Well, Native Americans being American. Anyway, yeah, that was really cool.
That was really cool.
And then for the re-release, the HD version of Soulcalibur 2, Heihachi's there, Spawn's there, Link, never again, most
Nintendo.
likely.
Never
Yeah.
again.
Bucks.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see him in Soulcalibur 2 again.
so
Rad, dude.
great,
I remember.
yeah.
I remember playing that in your living room.
Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
Link.
I bought that game for that.
So you got the GameCube version.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I remember it was a common fact.
That was crazy
that was the most
when
popular
that
version.
happened.
Yeah.
That was insane when that got announced.
Yeah. And I mean,
It was great. You could get up his old weapon, a lot of his other weapons too.
yeah, it was well
Awesome.
implemented. It wasn't phoned in is the
Yeah.
thing. Any of those three characters weren't. It was really crazy. Soulcalibur 3.
This one I forget.
How do we say this name? Cosmos? Cosmos. That
Some say.
the robot from Xenosaga.
Cosm.
Oh, awesome.
Is she Cosmos?
I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with Xenosaga.
Well, here's the thing.
he asks me specifically.
Yeah.
Jones,
Jones?
Cosmos verification
Jones?
over there?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear it in the comments. She is available through create a character. If you're creating your own character, they have all the parts where
you
you
can
can make
make her.
Cosmos. And exactly, I was like, I don't know.
That's a little disappointing from
But
two.
here's the thing. I want to tell you about the joy of fan wikis. Is they're a little less professional, but they'll tell you some stuff. So I was right where
They'll
you
go
are.
there.
I was right where you are. But here we go. The fact that she must be made using the character creator. This is a bullet point, by the way, under trivia. The fact that she must be using the character creation system and not unlocked as a full character references the fact that she is an android, an artificial being that was created, not born. Then a bullet point beneath that, I'm still not convinced. They're like, wait, Kyle. And being able to give her any fighting style in the game likely references her ability to create weapons from thin air in her original series, or maybe because due to the sudden removal of Dante from the roster, she was added as a substitute and
Okay.
Namco couldn't create an entire
Yeah,
moveset
that's-
for her.
okay.
That headcanon is so good that I'm buying it.
It's not even over. The bullet point beneath that, sub-bullet point, it is also a reference to the fact that androids can be programmed to do almost anything. So
It's like,
I'm in.
you're stretching
You got
so
me.
Yeah,
hard
that's so hard.
just to make sure this wiki entry makes
Like
sense.
if they
You're
wanted
just
to do that, they could have had a story beat where she's.
I
made or
respect
something like
that
Or she could play like
tremendously.
Shang
Yeah.
Tsung or something like
Love
that.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
So we count her as a guest character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of that
that's-
that wiki entry.
Yes.
Passionate entry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's passionate entry. All
Got
right.
me.
Okay, she counts. But as you said, obviously not as strong as the
No,
three
no,
that we
no.
had in the entry prior.
I love a good unwarranted defense from a fan.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
good.
it.
I like it too.
Actually.
I've been there many times with Star Wars. Backing it up.
So then next is Soulcalibur Legends, which
Yeah.
is
Was this the Wii game?
That is
Yes.
the Wii game.
Okay.
Did any of you play this?
No.
Yeah, no. There are 7 playable characters in Soulcalibur Legends. It's not a fighting game.
Yeah.
2v2. It's like a brawler kind of thing, third-person adventure game, action adventure, I should say. The guest character in that game, Lloyd Irving of
So crazy.
Symphonia,
Yeah.
dude.
You know his name? Yeah. Lloyd
He's the main character.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not remember his
Cool.
last name, I guess.
I
But
had
yeah,
no
you hit on
idea.
that. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He's one of the 7 playable characters in that game.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's like a really cool depiction of him too, actually. They kind of like made him more proportionate.
To fit the style.
Yeah,
He's like
exactly.
very
That's cool.
chibi.
Yeah, exactly. So
Original
it's,
one.
it's cool to do that.
Sweet.
Next game is, of course, Soulcalibur IV.
We
Do we
get
remember
nuts
that?
right here. Yeah, this is Vader and Yoda, right?
Not just Vader and Yoda.
Star Killer.
Yeah, The Apprentice.
Oh my god, I forgot about it.
Yes.
Oh, totally forgot.
I feel like that was LucasArts being like, yeah, we'll give you Vader, we'll give you Yoda, but
You gotta
must
put.
include
Star Killer's a big deal,
Yeah.
and he's very important to the universe.
Yeah. This is really going to be an asset to your fighting game. You must include this boy. It's just like, oh. Darth Vader was exclusive to the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Yoda was exclusive to the Xbox 360. However, they were both eventually
Stick on
available
that one.
as DLC later
They were like
on.
$5. I
Yeah.
think I remember.
Yeah. Star Killer? All versions, baby.
Great. Splendid.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I think that is an interesting time in Soul Calibur history. Like, it is cool to be Darth Vader. I think it's a little less cool to be Yoda.
Yes.
A little more annoying to fight against, like an annoying character, and then way not cool to have.
Yes, it's Star
Apprentice,
Killer. Ain't gonna be
like,
Star
Force
Killer.
Unleashed.
He
Yeah.
holds his blades cool though. I always
does.
like it.
He
Yeah.
holds it backwards.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I wanted to like Force Unleashed. I played that demo
I like
for
the first.
hours.
The first one's solid.
First one's okay.
First one's okay.
Two's terrible.
2 is terrible.
It's terrible.
The Force Unleashed is the concept, right? It just tells you right there. It's like, how cool would it be to move things around in the air? And that's actually kind of fun to do in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 is okay.
Yeah. It's
I bet it
okay.
doesn't hold up well though. No.
Yeah.
Next up, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny on the PSP.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now we're talking.
Who's in this?
Kratos.
Yes! Yes! Kratos
He's
is
been
that
in
game.
2 fighting games.
What's the other one?
Mortal Kombat.
Yes!
I know. It's
Crazy.
I was streaming God of War and I was like, oh man, I hope they put Kratos in the new Soul Calibur.
No,
Because
you
I
said,
had
you said next Mortal Kombat.
or next Mortal Kombat, and then they're
Yes.
like, he already is. I'm like, dude, I totally forgot.
That was the
about
craziest
that.
thing.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot.
Yeah.
Because he had like the golden, what was it, the golden fleece?
Golden Fleece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely forgot.
Yeah, he had his own stage even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weird boss that's like a big blob that's like the multiple
Dude,
layers
he's been
of.
in guest character in a lot of games.
Why, what else you got?
Hot Shots Golf.
Really?
He was in.
Golf, yeah.
He was in Shovel Knight.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, did you think you'd see Kratos in that many games?
doesn't fit.
Just go Goliath.
Sony had,
Hot
I
Shots
think,
Golf is so good.
Sony had a lack of mascots for a while,
Sure
where
did.
they're forcing their stuff into things that there shouldn't be, and so
That was
yeah.
like an era of mascots, almost like PS2.
I do think though he absolutely belongs in Mortal Kombat 9. That was
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
such a good fit. I don't know what he looks like in Broken Destiny, but I gotta assume that's cool too. Finally, Soul Calibur V, Ezio.
Oh,
as the
right.
guest character.
Yeah.
I remember kind of being a little let down on that one. Because I feel, I feel like Ezio gets around. He's a guest character all over the place.
Yeah, he had like 3 games.
In that
And he had like
moment,
3 games.
I was a little let down. But right now, in hindsight, I think that's really cool.
Really?
I love Ezio. One of my favorite Assassin's Creed characters. He's great.
Yeah? But in Soul Calibur,
He's cool, dude. Ezio's cool. He's got a bad rap.
I think they just peaked with 2. It was like too good.
yeah.
2 is too good.
yeah, but we're talking about him as a context as a guest character though, Brad.
I think it's fine.
No, it's not.
They had Darth Vader and Yoda in it already.
Those 2 characters have swords.
Ezio can use a sword.
Yeah, you can use a bunch of
swords
weapons.
in the games.
Big pole arm.
Not every.
He's not like a sword guy.
He's an assassin.
Not
Yeah.
everyone in Soul Calibur has a sword.
Right, some of them have bow staffs. They have cool weapons.
He's got a little
Hidden blade.
Oh,
blade.
come on. Like he's going to like defend with his little
He
hand
does.
blade? Does he?
He hits people with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
They got you.
Come on. No, they didn't get me. That's a bad character.
He's not coming back. He's gone.
He's gone. The wiki also mentioned that you can make Devil Gene in Character Creator, but again, that's even more. There's no Android backup on that
Yeah,
one.
no,
It's
no
just-
headcanon.
Yeah, you cannot put a headcanon on that one. I don't really count him as a guest character, but you can make a character look exactly like Devil Gene, and it has some of his moves, I guess. And then we are at Soul
Geralt.
Calibur with Geralt in it. What a guest character!
Cool.
That's a
Yes.
cool one. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Can I?
He uses swords.
Yeah, he's
He
got.
does.
He's got
What
swords.
sword
Kyle?
specifically,
Yes.
though? I mean, will he have both? Will you
Yeah,
be
he's
able to
gotta
switch
have
between
both.
them?
Silver,
iconic.
Silver is for monsters, so
Yeah.
he'll probably use his steel.
He won't use
would
his
assume.
silver, I think. Like, I think that's honestly part of his character.
Yeah.
It'd be wrong if he does.
What if he fights like a monster, like
Like
Azeroth
Nightmare?
or whatever,
Yeah.
or Nightmare? Yeah,
That'd be so cool.
that would be cool.
Yes.
He better drink a potion
That's
before
what
a match.
That's like
dude.
my question: is, am I gonna be able to chug potions?
He'll have a potion chug for sure. yeah.
Firebomb?
He'll have
Yeah.
a.
Like I'm thinking Striker, Mortal Kombat 3, the like grenades, that, like
You know what would be OP is the push. What's that one called?
Oh yeah.
Quinn?
No, Quinn's the shield.
the
That's
shield.
gonna be
Yeah.
OP.
Yeah. Just being able to push someone off the arena.
Ard.
Yeah.
I
something
forget, I
A.
forget.
Yeah.
And the fire one. He has
I just love that
fire.
idea. It's like, poof, I win. I'm like, oh, this is a sword game.
Yeah, off the stage.
But
dude.
yeah, I really, I would love if that's it. You know,
that'd be a really cool. Yeah,
it's
I for sure thought they were gonna do like a Souls character though,
yeah,
like Dark Souls or something.
because of Bandai Namco.
Like I could easily see them putting the Elite Knight in because of the remaster coming out. and
Who's the
everything.
Elite Knight?
He's like the box cover. It's the armor you think of when you see Dark Souls 1.
Okay,
Like
cool.
every Souls game kind of has like armor with it.
Yeah,
And like that's the main one for that.
but it's not
Nope.
that.
Or they could have put Artorias in there or something.
Well, I mean, do we think it's just? I mean, so
I mean, there could be more characters.
we went through
yeah.
the history. There, it is precedented
Yeah.
that there is more than one.
Totally could be more, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he could be, Geralt could be on Xbox, or I don't know. Souls character could be on.
I doubt they'll do platform exclusives again.
Why not?
I just feel like we're in a different time.
You think so?
Brad.
Okay.
Just
I
put
do.
Luigi in there, man. Just do it and end it.
You know, I would like Luigi much more than Mario.
With what weapon?
A plunger, chump.
Not John.
He's a plumber.
Stick to people.
What are you thinking? Obviously, be a plunger.
No,
I think Kirby would be sick in Soul Calibur.
for real
That'd
though.
be so goofy.
Is he huge or small?
Huge.
Okay.
For real, especially right
It's like
this
Knight Kirby. He's got a sword. and everything. Or
right
like
this
Meta
very
Meta
instant.
Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Aloy would be aces.
Knight. Ooh.
Aloy.
Yep, I think it'd work
Aloy
really
doesn't
well.
have a sword.
She's got a
Staff.
spear.
People
Oh,
like-
I forgot about her
the
spear. Yeah, her spear's sick.
She's got a bow,
Yeah,
Kyle.
yeah. No, she wouldn't use the bow, I think. I
No,
think
she
she'd
could
be
use the
Oh,
spear.
of course you would.
Yeah, of course.
You
she
can't
got
have her
range.
in
Nah,
that
Link's
game and
cheap
not
with
have
his
her.
bow. I think that's not fair. I think
Come
she would
on.
use her staff.
Dude, she's a zoning character.
She would have a bow attack. It wouldn't be like a weapon that's out all the time, but she
so
would.
would,
She would
so
have like a
would.
dodge where she jumps up.
Her bow is like part of her character. I'm sorry, her staff is part of her character.
Yeah.
I feel like
She's gonna have a bow, dude.
I don't think she's got a bow.
She'd be great. Put her in.
Put her in.
If it's
She's already a
beautifully.
monster hunter.
Technically,
Might as well throw her in.
True.
Yeah, I just honestly I don't think she'll be in because I think Brad, you asked why not? I think that it's so unimaginable to me to have these three versions to put work into a fighting game character, to have Spawn and Link and
But yeah,
Heihachi. I don't think that'll ever happen.
When you
again.
get someone like Aloy in there, that's a Sony character, like
Yeah.
that's a Sony character, then that makes me think there wouldn't be as many. But
Yeah.
when you get a character like someone from Souls who is on multiple platforms, more
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
with Geralt.
Yeah, I just think that what it was Skullgirls was talking about how much money it costs to make one fighting game character.
Yeah.
It's obviously inflated big time for something like Soulcalibur.
Yeah.
So you're spending millions of dollars on something that won't even appear in some versions of the game. I just
Yeah,
don't. I don't.
you're
I
probably
can't see
right.
that
That's
happening
probably
anymore.
dead.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Sweet.
I like that rumor.
That's a cool character,
Looking
man.
forward to that trailer.
That's a good
Because-
character.
Yeah.
every so often, man, I just
Think of The Witcher.
think of The Witcher. I just miss Geralt.
Yeah.
You know, and what a great way to bring him back without, having The Witcher 4 or something. You
I
know?
wish that
It's like-
community leader. I wish he didn't write that tweet. Why tease? Why tease?
He's
like that?
excited.
he's excited.
He's so excited.
He probably saw it earlier that day. They sent him like some footage, and he's just like, oh.
I think he thought there's no way they'll think Soulcalibur 6. That's probably the way he thought when he wrote that tweet.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He thought there's no way
It
they'll
could be
connect it.
anything.
Yeah.
You know.
And now it could be nothing else. There's no other way that he's talking about anything other than Soulcalibur 6. It's time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
This next game I chose simply because it looks like The Price is Right.
You know how I always know how to spell choose versus chose? Is that episode of The Simpsons when Ralph gets like a birthday card?
I choose.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'll never forget it.
This isn't a Valentine's card?
Yeah.
It's Valentine's.
It's the
Yeah.
exact moment his heart
Yep.
breaks.
Yeah.
Right? Here. Yeah, he's like on his chest.
See, but here, I'm sorry, I'm confused because I choose you has many O's.
But it's 2 versus 1.
It's not 2.
More versus less.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, I like,
Good.
we got a Price is Right game right here. I'm excited for this.
do it.
Yes.
DLC is a wonderful thing when it is done correctly, but sometimes investing in a game for more content can be a little absurd. In fact, DLC pricing can get so ridiculous that I've decided to create a game out of it for this activity. The panel will get a game and the potential cost if the customer were to purchase all of the DLC at once. This may include expansions, characters, cosmetics, etc., but will not include the game itself, DLC bundles, virtual currency, loot boxes, or season passes. Every number listed will assume the customer bought every item individually. So we're basically looking at the max amount that somebody could spend.
Okay.
Because I think it's, it's
if
a
you
little
buy-
misleading because there are bundles and things like that. Yeah.
So if you buy everything piecemeal,
Yes.
got it.
Woof.
After the panel receives a given price, they must decide if the cost is too high, too low, or right on the money.
Wow.
All prices are listed in US dollars and calculated to the best of my ability. Current sales and tax are not factored in. Be thrifty allies, Chris the Fields. Here we go.
This is great.
Lots of work into
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
intense.
I love this. Sid Meier's Civilization V, which is we're looking at the Steam version. The price is $89.27. Jones, is that too high, too low, or right on the money?
Oh, so he's gonna tell us the price, and then we need to. So
That's
it's
what
like,
makes it Price is Right, yeah.
oh, okay.
And people are like, hi, and people are like, whoa.
Wait, which Civ was this again?
5.
5. Is that the newest
Everything?
I think so. Yeah, for everything.
$89?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
You say right on the money?
Yeah.
Okay. Huber.
I'm gonna say right on the money.
Brad.
one? I'm gonna say a little high.
Nobody got it right. That's too low.
Ooh, too
Ready
low.
for this? $119.35.
Ooh.
What are you buying? What is even the DLC for?
Are there like
Civ 5?
weird
Historic
voice
figures.
packs or something?
I guess there
Probably
must be.
get it
Whole
near
other,
like
whole other
Lincoln
armies,
or
I
something.
imagine.
$119. Okay. All right. And then again, that's like the most you
most-
could possibly
yeah,
spend. No
crazy.
like bundles there. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Presented price is $43.67. Huber, you go first on this time.
Right on the money.
Brad.
Right on the money.
Jones.
Too low.
It is too low. $73.88.
How many characters
What
do they
the
have?
hell can you buy in that
Cloud,
game?
Bayonetta. Who else was in it?
Ryu.
Ryu.
Mewtwo? Do you pay for Mewtwo?
I don't know.
I think you had to pay for Mewtwo. Not
That's-
sure.
okay,
but,
well,
but
that's
they,
four
they
characters then.
had maps. They had maps you could download
okay.
too.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they found a way. Oh, dude, and Mii costumes.
Oh,
I think that's where we're racking this up. All those Mii costumes. All right, I lost my pen, so Jones, we're just going to keep track. You got 1 point.
Okay, great.
Okay. Borderlands 2. We're looking at Steam.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
too low.
Rack
Too
it
low.
up. Yeah, rack
ready?
it
Too
up.
low.
$209.02.
Okay.
Too low.
I'm
Brad,
gonna
you
say
guess?
it's right on the money.
Yeah, but I think that sounds about right.
It's too high.
Too high, possibly.
I took the bait.
Yeah, you took
I
the
took
bait on that
it.
one.
Borderlands stuff just coming out forever.
But I mean, it is $154.54. It is 150, dude. It's still the highest we've talked about so far. Yeah.
Another new Borderlands expansion.
All right, Jones, you go first on this one. Some of them are cool. Rocket League for Steam.
Oh, dude. Oof. Pay up.
Presented price $55.80.
Too low.
Huber.
Right on the money.
Brad.
Right on the money.
It's right on the money.
Yes. So on the board.
Tied up. All tied up across the board. That makes it easy to keep track.
Had to come eventually.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, PlayStation 4. Presented price $41.92. Huber, you're first.
Too high.
Brad.
Too high.
Jones.
Right on the money?
Too high.
Yeah.
$19.99.
Yep.
Which
it's
to me
only the
means one
DLC.
thing.
That's
Frozen
just
Wilds.
Frozen
Frozen
Wilds.
Wilds.
It must be
Yeah.
just Frozen Wilds. Yep.
I can't believe they didn't have
Yep.
something. They added
Yeah.
some other outfit or
Like
something.
buy some
or weird.
arrows or yeah.
Buy your
Oh, okay.
Killzone
Yeah.
Hellgast outfit.
No.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Too much integrity.
Why they already have the guy that looks like one of the... What are the good guys in Killzone called again? Whatever. One of the dudes like wearing armor that looks like that.
Really? There's a
Yeah,
little
and he has
Killzone homage
and
in
he
there?
has the mohawk. He's like in the story, like the main. He's like a big part
Didn't
of
play
it.
Killzone, so I missed that.
Yeah, exactly. Any Killzone reference can be lost on me.
Yeah.
Even if they're like, we call them the Hellgast. I'm like, okay. You know, it's
You're
like,
right.
it's
You're right.
washing over me. Brad, you go first on this one. It's our final one.
Okay.
Sims 3 on Steam.
Too low.
$146.75.
I'm saying too low.
Jones.
Right on the money.
Too low.
Way too low.
Way too low.
$379.81.
Yeah.
Pay it up.
Yep.
Pay up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a fun game.
You know what would have been a great addition to that game? Yeah, Disney Infinity.
So you count every
Add it
figure?
all up.
I think we're over. I think we're 4 figures.
Oh, maybe. Well, boy.
How much was each figure?
15 a pop, just for each version too. So it's like, you
There's
just do like
multiple
Disney
rows.
Infinity 1.
And the
so.
discs, Jones. This is where it gets complicated. Those discs are blind packs, or were in Disney Infinity 1.
The discs were blind packs? What are you talking about?
The
Power
discs.
discs.
Power disc.
Oh, the power discs. Right.
And like the Mickey one.
I think you meant game discs. I didn't know what you I'm sorry,
all
I
right.
got it confused.
I was like, how many discs does
I thought
this
you
game
meant like when
have?
you bought it. Right,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got your cutie discs. You got your power discs. You got your flow discs. It's like, all right. Okay.
Discs. It's been a while.
It has.
Oh.
What,
Do you miss it, Jones?
Yeah,
Jones,
what,
do you miss it?
What will it take for you to hop back in?
Postmortem?
No, of course. Yeah.
What will it take for you to play that game again?
To play Infinity again?
Yeah.
A port.
It's just a real powerful wave of nostalgia.
Okay.
Jones, would you say
Not
that
there yet.
Fortnite Save the World has replaced your Disney Infinity itch?
No.
Or
Two totally different games.
Whole new itch.
Yeah. Fortnite definitely scratches whatever itch I would have be fulfilled if I played something like Destiny. Or
So the
just
dopamine
any kind of
itch,
these shooters, yeah.
like Disney
But like
Infinity
the
is like
shooting was not the thing.
It's a-
I
it's
went
a
to
festering
Destiny for.
itch
Or
upon
went to
him.
Infinity for, yeah.
Festering itch that is yet to be ointmented. Dustin McNabb gives us this scenario.
Okay.
Picture this. You work for Sony or Microsoft as strategy consultants. That's a dream. Investors are getting nervous that the success of the Switch will take away market share from your console. I think this could practically be happening in those meetings.
Yeah.
How should your company respond? Should Sony try to reboot their handheld division? Should Microsoft come up with some controller peripheral to work with Windows phones? Or should they ignore the Switch as a passing fad? What do you do in that meeting?
You get better graphics. It's only a matter of time before the Switch looks dated.
That's not
That's now.
that's not what's wrong with the Switch.
The Diablo 3 for Switch will be the worst looking version of Diablo 3. But
But
won't
it'll be
sell.
and it won't
Sounds
be the
weird.
worst selling. And it won't
Yeah.
be the
Oh,
worst
no,
selling.
no.
Yeah.
So the games come out can't run on Switch.
Yep.
What's
So
up?
like a new console that comes out, inevitable PS5,
I'm bit-
Xbox, whatever.
Yeah.
The newer games will not be able to run on Switch.
Yeah, I'm basically just saying technology. Like, it's honestly only a matter of time before
Squeeze them out.
the Switch games just don't look that great visually.
I hear
Like,
you.
it will happen one day, whether that's a year or two from now.
Going back to Jones's insight on technology, I feel like though our graphics aren't improving that much. I don't expect the PS5 to blow us away when it's revealed.
Sure.
I don't think that's a weakness of the Switch, but I think not having Fortnite is a weakness of the Switch.
Yeah, it is.
I think you got to stress that stuff.
You gotta get Fortnite on there.
I don't think they're going to.
That's it. That's number one.
Yeah.
You get Fortnite on the Switch.
No, you don't.
You don't let them get
Oh
it.
yeah, we're
talking
Sony,
to
yeah.
Sony and Microsoft right
Yeah,
now.
we buy it.
They're sweating.
We buy Fortnite.
They're sweating. Okay, I kind of like that
Any
idea.
battle royale game that comes out, they buy.
We buy them all.
Yeah.
The Switch will never have a battle royale. Ever.
Yeah.
That is very funny.
Squeeze them out, dude.
Yes. I mean, John, should they take it seriously? Should they take
Yeah.
the threat of the Switch
Well,
seriously?
Xbox is working with them. Minecraft has a nice cozy relationship with the Switch. So Xbox isn't like holding that close to their chest. So I think I'm not running the numbers, so I don't know if that's directly benefited them. But like I don't think it's smart right now to view Nintendo as the enemy. I think play ball, especially with online. Try to get those things working. If Sony and Microsoft aren't going to play online together, then see if you can get the PS4 playing with the Switch or get Xbox One playing with Switch.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Whoa.
whoever does that
Join
first
hands.
seems like a
Align yourself with
seems
the
like a
Switch.
Microsoft play. You know, it seems like
Yes.
an anti-Sony Microsoft play for them to, because they're already, you know, dipping their toes in that water.
We're talking who's going to pull the trigger first, who's going to make friends with the Switch first.
Uneasy alliance.
I love that, Jones.
To be, yeah, just announce at the same time that they had to have another crazy press conference. Whoa! Like somebody walks out at the Microsoft or the
But like, what
during
game
the
are you gonna
Nintendo
play
event.
together?
Sorry, Fortnite. You're going to play Fortnite together.
No, because I'm Sony and I'm blocking it.
No, we're making friends with the Switch. We're like, hey, you know who's out of it? You know, like your Xbox, you don't buy, you ally yourself with the Switch, and you're like, it sucks to be on Sony, baby. You're playing Fortnite all by yourself.
You show a guy like in his room with PlayStation, just in the little headset in a pitch black room playing
Yeah.
Fortnite, and then you go to another room where the guy on the big screen has like the Xbox One X and like 4 other people behind him on the Switches all playing together Fortnite.
Yes. And the lonely person sucks.
So Fortnite is the key.
Yes.
I think I really like Jones's point that you don't have to look at it as competition, and in fact, like holding hands with the Switch might actually look good for your platform. I think that's really intelligent.
love
That's
that, Jones.
interesting.
But it's like, at the end of the day, they want to be the best, though. Like, they want to be the best.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird that we talked about the end of last year, in the US sales at least, that it was just like such a good year for all 3 of those platforms. Nobody had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if in those boardroom meetings they're like, oh, they're beating us, or if they're like, hey, we had a great year last year.
Yeah.
I wonder what the mood is like.
Yeah. Seems like everyone's kind of just doing their own thing right now.
And everybody's doing their own thing and having a great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
I think the Switch is in a position where it's performing better than people expected, but it's not a threat. You know, they're not scared of it. They're not upset that it's doing well.
Yeah.
But I think that, if I'm surprised, I can only imagine that Sony and Microsoft are like, ooh, that worked out better for them than we anticipated.
Yeah, so to like answer a direct part of that question, like Sony revitalizing their handheld division.
I don't think that's gonna
I don't think
happen.
that's a good idea
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. I'm
No, of course
sorry.
not. Oh,
This
boy.
is a case where the Switch would destroy you.
Yeah.
This is a case where like you're dead.
Greg Miller, man, I'm sorry. PS Vita.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it would not. It couldn't go up against the Switch.
Yeah. I kind of think Vita was the best product it could be. I guess there was a problem with like the memory card prices.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine them doing a better version of that. Like that could sell better.
It was
you know?
crazy when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they should do that. I don't think.
I think they should just stick to what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I can't.
Because they're doing like the VR stuff. They're like pushing the way forward with that kind of. Nintendo's not doing anything with that. Mm-hmm. They got strong first party, which is good for them.
Yeah.
They have like probably the strongest besides Nintendo, I guess, or like a different type of strong, I guess. Mm-hmm. So
What do we think about the idea of Microsoft trying to utilize phones in a way that like you could apply gaming to them?
but like
clicking controllers on your phone, Is that worth it looking into?
like playing a game with your phone.
Yeah, like some phones are nearly as big as a
Yeah,
Switch
but
screen,
it's
you
like
know?
what game? How many games would you play that you'd want to use that with?
I got Fortnite on it.
No.
That you're getting last. You're getting out first.
There is a mobile version of PUBG that exists.
Okay, yeah.
Like I could slap in my little controllers and play PUBG on the go.
There's like 5 people probably playing that. You don't want to play that.
No, released in China, dude. There's 500,000 people
Okay,
playing that.
China, that's okay. They're playing normal Fortnite too, though.
Yeah, but like, should Microsoft look into it? Should they look
Maybe.
into mobile? Like, at mobile's at this weird kind of market where it's not the mobile market we're always
feel like
talking about.
the height.
A serious mobile market.
I feel like that time came and went though. Like when people were so into mobile, like it's gonna be the future of games, going thing like that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of past.
yeah, it's a weird market where you got to be lucky to make that money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they won't experiment with it, but I feel like
Yeah.
the heavy push on that.
I also think that because the Switch launched just last year, I mean it's their launch year, so it's again it's they're running a different race,
Sure. It's got to slow down eventually,
It's
right?
got it's their launch year. Obviously, it's going to be amazing. They're going to do so well. They're going to sell the most. Like it's year one. They got Mario. They got Zelda, and PS5 and Xbox whatever has got to be closer than the Switch 2. So I think that is logically the next step for both of those companies.
Oh,
is
guaranteed
to
closer.
Just release.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, and then again, I go back to technology. Like when those new systems come out, you're going to compare the games on a PS5 to the Switch, I mean, it's gonna look a lot better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't think the graphical disparities are a huge deal right now. I'm wondering if when Metroid Prime 4 is finally shown, I wonder if that's when we'll finally complain about
They're like,
the Switch's capabilities.
I
do.
It depends on
soon?
it depends on the art style.
It does.
Really do.
Yeah. So like Mario, you're like, yeah, it's good.
looks
You know,
amazing.
Zelda,
with
you're
Zelda,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like when Metroid's coming out, it's like if it doesn't have this distinct, stark art style, if it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, that could look a little better on better hardware. You know? I wonder if we'll be there.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Because when like Prime came out, it was like on good hardware.
Yes, dude.
Like GameCube was like powerful.
It's
there,
like
yeah.
one of the best looking games you could possibly play right now.
Yeah, and I remember 3 when 3 came out. You was like, oh, it looks alright.
Yeah.
Looks okay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like you could tell.
no, on Wii, dude.
Yeah, on Wii.
Oh, no, like Wii was like you're playing better games on 360.
Yeah.
yeah.
Already, yeah.
It's held back.
Random prediction has nothing to do with Nintendo.
Yeah.
I can feel the segment winding down, so I just want to get this in there.
Please do,
Just
John.
popped into my head. So you got,
You got to feel for my flow, Jones. I like
you
that.
got. I've been on a couple of these episodes. So you got the Switch, which is one of my favorite things about that is Inside. I thought the other day, what an amazing game to come to Switch, man. Can you imagine playing Inside on the Switch like that? You have, if you own a Switch, like, oh god, you'd have to play that game. If you did not play it on it's a PS4 exclusive, right? Was that on
No,
Steam?
no. I played it on.
Oh, then let's do it. Oh, there's no
Yeah.
reason. Get that on the
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of opportunities. Darkest Dungeon. When next October, I'm gonna finally. I've played it, but I just never really put a lot of time into it. And when it was out on Switch, I was like, oh, it's time. Yes.
So
perfect for the Switch.
So perfect.
There's just a lot of games, some that came out with the last 2 or 3 years that we're getting another chance to. Obviously, a lot of nostalgia associated with any Nintendo console. We're still waiting for that, the backwards compatibility or whatever that's going to be, whatever that online service is. Microsoft making huge strides lately with backwards compatibility. Talking about that a lot. A lot of people I'm seeing on social media pimping up old Xbox games. It's like, whoa, look at this. Look at this old Burnout. Look at this old, this crazy game that I'm playing.
And the stuff
it
that
looks
One X
so
can do to old
good
games is pretty
on
crazy.
the Xbox One X now.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I don't think they're going to do it, but I'm very curious to see if the PlayStation 5 will be in some way centered around harnessing PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4
That'd be
libraries.
great.
Specifically PS1 and PS2. Come on.
PS4,
And
yes.
Not
I'm
because
say no to the other
I would
three.
always say that in the past about Sony because it's like, please, that would be great if you could do that. My PS3 broke, so I can't play any of these amazing games that I, own. But just because of how much success Nintendo and Xbox has had this gen, with that, I'm wondering if that's something that Sony's
Do you mean physical?
nervous
no?
about.
Or digital? No.
I think digital, no, dude.
I
it'll be
think it's
4
way more
only.
likely though than physical.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because they have classic games already. You could buy PS2 games for PS4.
Yeah, but I
Hardly
can't.
any.
Yeah, I can't.
I know, but I'm saying like if they really double down on that.
They're not doubling
They
down.
bailed out. The hashtag PS2 to PS4 was such a big thing
yeah, I forgot
for
about
a
that, dude.
minute and then dead.
Imagine
Did.
if they did Guitar Man. Imagine if they did like
So
some of
many.
those games that cost $80.
So
now.
many
Yeah,
games.
Ugh.
Well, it's like imagine if they remade and re-released Crash Bandicoot and it made a lot of money. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
So it's like they've had these
get
little experiments. It's like the past is gorgeous. You had that lineup of Sony of all those consoles. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, but didn't PS1
it just
classics
sucks.
do
It's
good?
all
on PS3.
Sitting in the past.
PS3.
I guess they did.
PS3 had a lot of PS1 classics.
And they're all so good.
A
I love
lot.
them. Just abandoned.
And you can play those on PS Vita too.
Yeah,
It's
which
incredible.
is awesome. Yeah.
It kind of feels like
talking up the Vita, talking down.
it feels like it feels like we're friends. We all eat at the same lunch table, and then like PS4 like starts hanging out with other friends. It kind of feels like that, and so like it's got this positive reinforcement. It's making so much money right now that how could you possibly say they're doing anything wrong?
Right.
And we're in that board meeting, and we're like, "Hey, you got to have PS2 games." They're like, "Shut up, we don't."
What's like criticizing Nintendo?
You
too?
gotta
It's like, what's
have
the point?
exclusives at the holidays. Like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We got Battlefront.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just getting so much positive reinforcement for the decisions they are making. It's hard to say that any are wrong until they're slowing down or something.
I
you know?
guess.
I just can't see it happening. Before we end, you know what? I'm going to change this game. I kind of just like this. I think it's cute. We're going to change how this game works. Basically, this game's going to be no winner, no loser. You just got to say I'm impressed or I'm not impressed. Okay?
No, okay.
All right. So, hey, Oz, a couple of episodes ago, you talked about movies based on video games, and I think it's time to talk about the most significant piece of media: cartoons. While most of these shows did not have a very long runtime or were just bad in a it's so bad it's kind of good way, it's interesting to see just how many episodes there were for each of these franchises. Down below, list of cartoons. I need you to say I'm impressed or I'm not impressed with a number of episodes it had.
Okay.
Excellent.
Donkey Kong Country, 40 episodes.
The CG show?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
Wow.
What did that air on?
I thought you were gonna say like 7.
It's weird, Jones. It was made by like a French animation studio. I think it was kind of syndicated in weird ways.
Whoa.
When I saw it first, it was on a network called ABC Family. And
I cannot visualize it. I mean, I can imagine because
it's a
I know
horror.
the style.
it is not a horror. It's a good show.
It's not a good show.
It's so well casted. I love
Oh,
it.
it's one of those. It's really bad. Kyle loves it. It's good.
No, it's got songs. There's one song in every episode.
I remember the songs. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Like
all right.
Donkey Kong looks hideous in that show.
He does. He looks bad. Cool show though. Earthworm Jim, 23 episodes.
I'm surprised they even made that a show. I'm impressed.
Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. Earthworm Jim.
Wow.
I'm a little impressed.
I don't know. Yeah.
23 episodes? Got canceled? That's
But
not
it's
impressive.
like
really? You all
I mean,
impressed
I'm
by
trying
this?
to.
Okay.
It's like
That's like a full season. Like,
I'm ready for that Earthworm Jim
I'm
reboot.
like that they
baby.
made
I'm
that
so
show.
ready.
I'm impressed.
I'm so
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, I get that.
Come to Switch.
Cool toys. Earthworm Jim had some cool
Yes,
toys.
they did.
Kirby, right back at you. 100 episodes.
Dude, so impressed.
Kirby right back at you.
ya.
super impressed.
100
What
episodes.
planet
Impressive.
have I been living on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is
This
happening?
was this CG?
This was not CG. This was anime. It's more recent. I'm going to say it's the 2010s on Fox Kids.
Dude, I remember
'Cause
this
he
now.
eats the stuff and then spits
It's
it
right back at you.
right back at you.
It had a very strange rendition of King DDD, and it's one of these where it's like there's also humans that showed up, you know.
I'm even more impressed now.
Yeah, wow.
Mega Man from 1994, 27 episodes.
Not impressed.
Not impressed at
Yeah.
all.
Dude.
Come on.
Do
Yeah,
better,
they
man.
could have done better with that.
Do
Ugh.
better.
It's got Proto Man in it too.
Yeah.
Come on.
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, 65 episodes.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, that's
impressed. I love that show.
Wait, so is this the one with? Is this
Wasn't
the
there two
original?
versions?
Which one had the Freedom Force, the Freedom Fighters?
Like the other like hedgehog people. in
Jaleel
it?
White was the voice of Sonic.
feel
Is that
like-
Adventures?
I don't know.
What was the one with Robotnik and
Was
the
it
two robots?
Chili Dogs? He's like talking about how
Chili
much-
Dogs.
Okay, so that's Adventures of that's 65 episodes of that.
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about right now?
I think so. It's been like 20 years. I just remember watching the Sonic cartoon
like
on
Urkel
Saturday
Jaleel
morning.
White?
Yes. Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's
I've
like
now
three,
watched
4
1
seasons.
minute of
Yeah.
any of these shows.
Wow,
Chili
Jones,
Dogs.
this is fun then.
Wow.
Because Fox Kids also had a Sonic show that had a bunch of humans in it, which I like way less. You know, you
Okay,
like
whoa.
Sonic hanging out with animal people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Too old.
65 episodes is a lot
Missed
of
'em.
episodes. The Legend of Zelda. 13 episodes.
Not impressed.
Impressed.
Could have done more.
13?
Could have done better.
Oh, that's Excuse Me, Princess, right?
Yeah, excuse
Yeah.
me, princess.
And
yeah.
that's not Captain N. That's just a whole
No,
different.
that's a whole
Yeah.
that's
different
a whole
thing.
different thing.
Yeah.
Could have done better.
Yeah, no.
They
on.
dropped
You
the
know what we
ball.
Yeah.
They
sorry.
dropped
You know
the
what we
ball.
need?
What?
Like Castlevania style Netflix Zelda show.
No, don't you do that.
You in?
Talked
don't
about
you
it,
do
man.
that.
You in?
Yeah,
Don't.
I guess.
Don't.
Like,
Did you watch Castlevania, Kyle?
I've not watched it yet.
It's really good.
I'll get on that.
it depends how they do it.
I think that is possible. When we talk about this, translations to cartoons and
Yeah.
film and stuff like that, that has to be the #1 challenge in video games to make something out of The Legend of Zelda and
Yeah,
have it not
that's gonna be-
suck.
Yeah.
And have it not
dude.
piss off fans so
Yeah.
hard.
I mean,
Fair
it's
point.
going to no matter what.
That's
'Cause, like,
not-
he doesn't
that does
talk.
not feel like something to me where fans are like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
You're like,
let's do
no.
it without Link.
He doesn't talk.
Let's do
There's
it
no.
without
there- How could they do puzzles?
Don't you dare.
Princess Rudo is the main character of the show.
No.
Yes. What? What do you got?
Here's how I could see this. Do you remember the?
No. I love that. You're a Hollywood producer, dude.
No, that idea is terrible.
Get out of my office.
Get out of my office. I could see them doing. Okay, so since Link doesn't talk a lot, I don't know if you remember the Clone Wars mini series that they had.
Oh,
that
with
were
Gendy
like,
Tartakovsky?
That were like 5 minutes or something like that. I could see them
Yeah.
doing that with Zelda, just like quick little things in Hyrule, all like building up to a
Beautiful
specific
Brad.
moment.
Beautiful Brad.
Boom.
That's good, dude.
Ship it.
You're hired.
Ship it. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Yeah.
52 episodes.
Now this is separate from the Super Mario Brothers 3 show,
Yeah,
right?
wasn't there a different one?
'Cause
Super
that's the
Show,
one
I
I
think,
had.
is the one with the live actors.
Yeah, the live
Captain Lou?
action.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't even remember this show that well. I remember spaghetti.
yeah, I don't remember.
Dude, and I think it like spans 3 to World, dude.
Does it go to World? Sick.
Super Mario World. It's a blast from the past. Like, what is that from? Is that from this?
I don't know. I gotta check this out now.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi
Wow.
doing what they can.
You
52
could be
episodes,
making
that's a lot.
all of this. I mean,
Yeah,
I know the Captain Lou Albano show. like, I'm-
Sonic the Hedgehog. That's you just came up with that.
It was the 90s, dude. That's pretty accurate, probably.
Hope you enjoyed the little game, everybody. And
Yeah,
as
that
always,
was a
love
good
and
one.
respect, Dakota. Thank you, Dakota.
That was cool.
Yeah, a fun little one to do at the end of this podcast. Not quite the end. We must settle some bets. Thanks, Brad. Devil May Cry HD Edition will be released next Tuesday, March 13th. What will its Steam reviews rating be? And to break a tie, how many reviews will there be? And just to be clear, I showed everybody the...
Wait, I need a pen.
Why?
Oh, you didn't write it down.
I didn't write that part down.
You need to show them the list.
I only heard part 1.
You gotta go first. Just go first.
And I'll just say a number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I thought that was for a tie.
It's just to break a tie.
Okay.
But like, just so he
many
doesn't know where
reviews?
Jones was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I say mostly negative,
Mostly negative.
and I say that there will be just a nice round number, 300 reviews.
Okay. Brandon Jones.
Mostly negative. Boy, am I 20 reviews. Way low, right?
I don't know. I thought it was way
Yes,
higher.
Jones, that's very low.
On Steam, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
very
write
low.
down a
I just say
number
for
reviews
remakes,
either.
just, I don't know.
Okay,
people-
so Brad, you can, now that Huber and Jones have gone, you cannot do a number, but you can give what your thing was.
Okay. Very negative.
Yes. So if very negative, you win, basically.
Okay.
So it's just to break a tie.
Very negative.
I said mixed.
Okay.
And my number was 664. Obviously, the numbers don't matter for anybody because we all said different things, right? Jones, what was yours? Mostly
and I said
negative.
the same thing.
Oh, you both said mostly negative, so that number will matter.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let me lock those in.
Don't make crap.
Don't put those frame rate up.
Forgot
Keep
to
it
lock
60.
them in last week, Jones.
So did
What?
Capcom.
I did. I forgot to lock them in.
I would remember that.
Oh.
I don't think so. I
Oh,
would have
maybe-
messaged you and everything. No, you remembered.
Okay. Yeah, because Jones goes through the edit and he like lets
Yeah.
me know when things.
That sound
are
effect
wrong.
doesn't just happen.
All right. So to everybody who said I forgot to lock it,
Yo.
I was reading the comments. What?
Oh, you know what? I thought they would say that. Retcon yourself, Chad. Go back and listen. It's in there. But I remember being like, oh, it's because everybody was gabbing when he was locking it in. Someone was talking over you, and you did it, and it's in there. It's in there. You can hear it. But it's because I had that thought. I had the thought where I was like, I wonder if someone's gonna say that we didn't do it.
That was a Kyle
because it's in
moment.
there.
Jones, I treat the audience like that all the time.
That was a
I've never
Kyle
seen
moment.
you talk down to the audience like that.
Because I've never had someone correct my edit when I did in fact do it. And I say that because I don't know if I've told you this, but there
What?
was one, or no, you were involved obviously because it's, you help in the podcast, but I totally forgot to do podcast halftime one time. I
redo it.
any of the, I forgot to put the scores in.
Yeah.
The slam happened to just randomly, right in the middle of a sentence.
Just a copy and paste job, yeah.
I just was out. I mentally just checked out cutting that. And so, but I had that thought. Yeah, it's buried in there. But
Nice.
because everyone's talking over you when you're.
It's not
locking it
important. Hey, the only important thing is that they get locked in. I don't care if you're talking over my locks.
Right.
Let's
You
talk
know
about.
what I need though, man. I need a shot at redemption. I need redemption, and I need the fantasy fight of the century. I need Geralt versus Dante, Soulcalibur VI.
It was interesting
go.
learning that Dante was almost into Soulcalibur. Apparently, it was like a rights issue.
Let's do
They
it.
just
now.
had one of those.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Look at Capcom
They gotta play ball.
making deals, getting Aloy in,
see you
in
making
Monster
deals.
Hunter.
Yes.
We see these backdoor shady deals happening.
Yeah. We see you playing around.
Geralt and Dante,
Why not?
sword versus sword.
Clashing blades. Here's my stipulation: the guns cannot come out.
The guns
You
cannot
with the
come out.
ranged weapons in Soul Calibur, man.
It's not right.
Crossbow, man. Geralt, right between Dante's eyes.
Yeah, he's got a crossbow.
Boom.
Like Dante cannot.
No.
He has to use his guns. He has to.
Yeah, he's got that Witcher sense.
Wait, is there anyone in Soul Calibur established who has a projecting weapon?
I don't think so. Yeah.
And like nobody's like throwing fireballs.
No.
Yeah.
Time to shake it up, baby.
At the
Okay.
most, maybe it's like a blade projectile, like a shing.
Yeah, I just got that cool
Didn't
whip.
Link have it
Shockwave.
in 2?
He probably did.
The hook
Yeah.
shot and the boomerang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they like demanded that though.
Link
He's got to have
break
those items.
Break it. Yeah. So they're willing to be a little
Wanna play around.
flexible.
Yeah, all right. Just feels cheap. Link.
Would you,
What?
troll moment at E3 would you be? How bummed would you be if they show Dante? Everyone's like, "Yo, Devil May Cry 5," but it's actually Soulcalibur 6. Would you be happy or upset?
So in this universe, Devil May Cry 5 does not exist.
Does not exist. We see the
Rupert
bullets.
Langdon was all excited just because he was doing this VO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be bummed.
Yeah, I think everyone would be bummed.
I'd be very, very salty about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Prepare for it.
Last week's bet was about Scribblenauts Showdown. Brad and Hubert, do you know what this game is? Scribblenauts
I
Showdown.
remember what Scribblenauts was.
Yeah, I know what Scribble. I saw the box art of this where they're like clashing at each other. They're
Yeah.
like,
So it's a fighting game?
No, it's a mini game collection.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I watched some of it, Jones. Basically, the only implementation of Scribblenauts is it's like name a food that starts with F. And so basically with the
fries.
Great. Yes. Well done.
Fudge.
Yes, Brad. Great. Jones, you got one? Quick, Jones.
I don't. I'm done. I lost the game.
So no, that's not the game. So basically, you
More
type
fun
in.
game than probably what you're explaining.
Do you remember how like texting used to work, where like you'd have to like tap
Go
a button
through
3
the-
times? Yeah.
Archaic.
So basically, you do that to type in words on your Switch remotes controllers.
Whoa.
And so Hubert would type in fries, Brad would type in fudge, and then in this like dumb like Flappy Bird minigame, Hubert would be riding on fries and Brad would be riding on fudge.
I'm kind of on board for this.
So that's like what this game is.
Okay.
We wanted to look at the reviews for that game.
61 on Metacritic.
What I did was I looked at the top 10 most recent reviews on OpenCritic.
55.
How many times will I read the word fun? As a bonus, I will exclude any instances of fun preceded by the word not or any of its contractions. We had to discuss this actually. So OpenCritic has critic reviews and contributor reviews.
Whoa.
And I don't know whether we count this contributor review or not. It definitely affects who wins. What happens is it does appear on the far right where it like accumulates all of the ratings. Where they're like, this many people called it good, this many people called it medium, this many people called it bad. The review does appear there. So I don't know whether we count that review or not.
Why would you? Why? It's obviously from their community. It's the people who signed up for.
It is somebody with a website, from a website. So you click through, you don't go to this person's website.
What's the
you just do
qualification
review
then? What does that mean to them?
To be a contributor?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm flummoxed by this. I don't know where to go.
Have you Googled how to be a contributor on OpenCritic?
I did not Google that. I didn't do that much prep.
Not having that information and knowing last week that like I think we're all expecting that this would be the official, that these would be reviews from major outlets. That was the question. Will the outlets that you know and trust, mention specifically that this game is not fun?
All right, well, there's another addition onto this that makes this very important.
Oh man.
This one review is the only review.
Oh.
There are no other reviews than this one contributor
the
review.
And it's a contributor.
Yes.
Jeez.
Do we count that one review?
Well, now I know the stakes here, so
Yes.
I can't,
Well, you can
So
still speak
I will
ethically.
stick to my response before I knew the stakes.
Yeah. So you're saying just because the fact that he's the only reviewer does not mean that we should take that one.
No.
Hubert, where do you stand?
I don't know. It's not loading.
Yeah.
I'm with Jones because if we weren't going to count it before, I don't think we should count it just because.
But now we know.
But
we
the thing
have
is,
a lesson for the next time we're gonna.
I don't know how it's
OpenCritic.
sorted. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for the future, I'll say top 10 critic reviews.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
For the future, I will assume on a day of a game's launch, we're gonna have some reviews. I think that this one is just kind of a little under the rug. Just get it out. We're not gonna get really good reviews. This is really funny though. I'll tell you what happened with this one review. GameHeadquarters.com reviewed it.
So that was not only the only review with fun in it, that was the only review.
Sorry, yeah, to make that clear, the only review for this game today on the day of its launch.
Well, all right.
Gave the game a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Used
7
the
out of
word
10.
fun 7 times. 7 times.
What is this, a Marvel movie review?
Wait, what? What? Come on.
Brad's
This is fun.
Brad's been really
it's
swinging at the MCU lately.
Someone's got to do it.
Just
Swinging.
daggers out,
Someone's got to do it.
Wow.
eyes red with rage.
Spicy.
Come on. That's a good joke. That works with Marvel reviews.
It was good. It was
right.
good.
Come on, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just a fun movie.
It's a fun ride.
Oh,
It's just a fun movie.
Full Ragnarok. It's
Yeah.
a fun cosmic adventure.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Ugh.
Hulk, he's just fun, all right?
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, too close to home.
Black Panther, though. Come on.
10 out of 10.
So
Don't give him ammo.
We're saying zero. We're saying zero critic reviews. Jones, you bet 1, and Damiani bet 1. So that is 1 point for the Red Grouse, 1 point for the Gorgeous Gorillas, 0 points for me. No. We'll get there. We'll
Okay,
get
calm
there.
down. Quiet you.
Some excited gorillas.
Yeah.
Jones, I think we actually didn't print the totals, but we know them. So wait, you're at 5. Correct? Red Grouse at 5? Gorgeous Gorillas 4?
Whoa.
Pumped up tonight.
That's not gorgeous. I'm not
Yeah,
comfortable with that.
that's
We're looking gorgeous while doing it.
Yeah.
Fierce and gorgeous.
Rocking my shades.
Droopy Eagle 2.
2, I believe.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
There really no scores on there?
Yeah.
On the last page? Very last page.
Gorillas
very last
with
page,
like
dude.
black
It
sunglasses.
ends with it ends
It's
with
just too cool.
that website.
And hair gel.
GameHeadquarters.com.
Oh, wasn't a page with just a text at the top?
Oh, is there
Sorry,
such
everybody.
a thing? No.
Info.
That's it, man. That's it.
Weird. Sorry.
Tossed out. We remember the scores. Wasn't a big deal. Brandon Jones, what was your favorite part of the podcast this week?
Bet we got him wrong. When you were explaining the rule set for the Scribblenauts game and said, for example, you would guess a food with F, and Huber interjected immediately. Fries.
That was a good
Screamed
part.
it.
That was a good part of the
That
podcast.
is just classic Huber.
Huber, what was your favorite part of the podcast this week?
Talking about Battlefield. Getting hyped. I am super hyped right now on Battlefield.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Brad, what was your favorite part of the podcast?
The premature gorilla celebration.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. My favorite part of the podcast, I guess, was that really expensive comment that I got. That was like really
That was a
complimentary.
very nice
Yeah, that
comment.
was super nice.
Super nice.
That was talking about like how good I am at running this podcast, like super late
So
into it. In fact, I even forgot because Jones didn't print out the last page. We're supposed to talk about Patreon before we talk about our favorite parts. What if the Patreon part is your favorite part? You know, we won't hear it. Patreon.com/Easy Allies is a URL, place to check out how we, the Easy Allies, operate as a group of people who make videos about video games, podcasts, live streams. We do things we like to do about video games is what I would describe them as. Yeah, just things we're passionate about, things we're into, and yeah, things we like talking about, like this very podcast. We just like talking about Battlefield.
Love talking about Battlefield.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, worth checking out that website. Check out easyallies.com to see all of our videos and our schedule adapted to your time zone, so you can see all the things that we're doing and will do in the future. Very convenient. So
Can I have 2 favorite parts?
yeah.
Going through all those Soulcalibur characters.
Yeah.
That was a
was
10
fun.
out of 10.
I gotta say, yeah, you know, sometimes I just like looking this stuff up.
Yeah.
It's fun. So, who was it? Was it Damiani? So I guess Brad and Jones, we got to have a draft to see rights and responsibilities. So at stake, Twitter handle, final word, promote any Easy Eyes video, and sign off. So Jones, you are in the lead. You get first pick in the draft.
I will. Oof. I'll do Twitter handle. I don't know. I can't think of I got nothing for the other ones.
Oh, I want final word.
Okay, yeah,
I know
Jones,
what's coming.
your next pick.
I'll do. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then I'll. So it's.
All right, you don't have to
Not thinking. My brain is
You
toast.
could promote Easy Allies anything.
There
like
we
maybe
go.
there's a big event
There we
coming
go.
up.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
okay,
yes.
cool.
So promote
All right.
the Easy Allies.
And then Brad, you'll get trademark sign off.
Oh, okay.
All right, Jones, your Twitter handle.
At Trailer Jones.
What kind of tweets can I expect from you?
I don't send out a lot of my own tweets. I spend a lot of time retweeting and replying to people, and so I like to just interject my opinions about other silly things that people are doing in the industry. It's nice because I've been in the industry for a long time. I know lots of crazy people, so it's fun when I can comment on someone like Rob Kirkovich, who's now on NCIS New Orleans, and give him a hard time for being an actor.
Good promo. I like that. Brad, the final word.
Marvel movies are okay, but they're better than DC movies.
I'll take it.
What do you want to promote, Jones?
I would like to promote the remainder of the Souls retrospective, which was written and captured entirely by Brad Ellis, which I delayed extremely for months and months and months, and which will be concluded in the very near future, potentially before the next podcast. You will see another episode of the Souls retrospective. No.
I'm a little uncomfortable with
Me
that.
too.
Yep.
But I got Brad
Finally.
here. I got
Yeah.
Brad here, and I'm just in debt to him for working as hard as he did on the project, and then not
done.
not meeting.
Hard to look him in
effort
the
that he
eyes,
produced.
right?
It is. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot. I got a lot of making up to do. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Jones. Pedal to the metal, baby. You got a deadline now. Ticking clock.
Yep.
Sand slipping through.
Doomsday clock.
Yes.
The
Ravioli.
forgotten sand slipping through my fingers.
Once again, it's for my boy General Hux. Episode 7 only, though. Hux, not episode 8. Fuck the Republic and fuck the Senate! Fire!
I am enjoying these microtransactions.